You're such an asshole.
Morning, children. Oh, Cappy gets to go for a motorcycle ride today. And all he has to do is do one last video. Then he gets to go to the coffee store. Then he gets to upload the videos. And then he is free. You go into the penalty box and you'll feel shame. And then you get free. Which is another classic movie from the 70s. Where a not yet dead Paul Newman wore some very, very bad fashion 70s pants. Dear Aaron, I'm a 20-year-old Hispanic working at a warehouse at $11.50 an hour. I've been at this place for about 11 months now. Have $9,000 saved up and have no debt. I've contacted you because I'm absolutely tired of my job. If you go online, my job has a 1-star review by almost every employee who's ever worked there. That's those low-paid jobs, dude. And every guy your age, that's the age you got to go deal with it. If you want a little bit of an insight, look at the 45-year-old who fucked up his life and he's got to work there. Look at the manager of you guys and say, do I want to be this guy? Not that there's anything wrong with manual labor. But I got another gal. She had a similar question along these lines. And she works at essentially there's no real skill involved. Yeah, you want to get out of that as quickly as possible. Please keep this anonymous. I won't mention the name. Anyway, it sucks working here. There's absolutely no work-life balance. In some weeks, you have to work every day, Monday through Friday, 12-hour shifts, and weekends, 6-hour shifts. By the way, you get a ride-up with HR if you don't work Sunday. Well, okay, but dude, unemployment is 3.7%. I can see where that's... I don't know... Beckloff is in kind of a similar situation, but Beckloff refuses to move. Can you move? I could see if this is the one employer in town, and you can't move for some reason, which I don't believe. You're 20, you can move. But you go to where the higher pay and the better jobs are. And unemployment being what it is, you should be able to find a job that doesn't suck this much. Because here's where I'm 100% with you on this, where they're only paying you $11.50 an hour and they expect you to sell your soul. No. You're not. No one has to be that desperate. You just have to move. You got it now. If you screwed up and you got someone pregnant, you're not allowed to leave the county because the job. Well, then you're fucked. But I can't help you there. But you don't seem to indicate that. So yeah, dude, just get a different job. Might take a couple months, but you can find a different job. By the way, you get rid of it. Furthermore, I've also been blamed for things that weren't my fault. And even had my $800 phone. So why do you have an $800 phone making $11.50 an hour? I make a little bit more than that, and I don't have an $800 phone. What is wrong with you? Stolen the same week I got it. Fun fact, when I went to HR to see if they could find the person responsible, they simply go to the IT guy, is the main guy in charge of all the cameras in the workplace. So even though there's a camera in the break room where your phone was stolen from your lunch bag, we would have to wait until the IT guy returns the following Monday. Yeah, that's you're working with thieves, essentially. That's where I told you, that's the low caliber of people you don't want to be working with. I guess they're better than welfare. They are better than welfare because they are working, but not by much. Yeah, I went back that Monday only to keep hearing the same excuses over and over again. Furthermore, the main problem is with my boss. No one likes this boss because he's an extreme asshole, even more than you, Aaron. He constantly stands and watches your every move while you work and complains to our supervisor about every little fault that he finds in a way that we work. I said, look at your boss, and your boss is probably a nobody. He got promoted to assistant supervisor, and his dick got an erection 10 inches long. He's got power now. He is the king of Shit Hill. He's in command of you guys. And by God, that's probably his biggest accomplishment. So you get tyrants, you get these petty little dictators that you definitely don't want to be working for. Which is another, everyone's got to work these jobs. You got to start at ground zero. But this is the main reason you get a job that at least where the bosses aren't dicks. This is why you get a trade or a skill. This is why you go to college for a legit degree. But yeah, now this is hearkening me back to my manual labor days where it's like, you're not shoveling the shit right here. I remember one time, it wasn't this was in the darkest days, but just to show you, we're in Wisconsin, and Valentine's Day would come up, but we'd have to make sure there was enough dirt and manure and whatnot to fill the cups to make all the different flowers that women would buy, or not women, men would buy their women in February for Valentine's Day. So starting in late January, we'd have to start getting dirt. Well, the owner, he'd spend Lord knows how much in labor getting us to hack away at the frozen dirt and manure, chipping off these things, instead of just heating the damn place so that you could just shovel it, which would have saved a lot of labor and maybe been a wash, would have been a lot easier. I just remember being out there in below zero with a pickaxe, not mining gold, mining shit. That is the level of the job everyone starts at, and will give you a really good incentive to move on to bigger and better things. Although my boss there was actually kind of cool, maybe just not the greatest with business. Furthermore, this asshole has already fired about 40 people in less than a year. Okay, so high turnover. They can't fire. I bet you it's a piss test. I bet you people can't show up sober. And our department is constantly hiring new people and firing people at an alarming rate. The only reason he hasn't fired me yet is because I'm a good employee who does all the work no one else wants to do. In fact, most people call me their boss because I do the same work as my supervisor and the main boss. Right! I believe this because I actually train them on how to do the job rather than just giving them worthless meetings and speeches on why we're supposed to do their job right. It's so crazy because the supervisor had me train employees my third week on the job, which I have never heard a job doing that before. Furthermore, this boss... Okay, stop. Hey, look. You are expecting these people to have the managerial skill of Jack Welch or the leadership skill of Erwin Rommel. All right? These are dumb people you work with, including, especially, your supervisors. Just knock it off with, dude, this place sucks. No one's got their shit together. Yes, at a warehouse where people are making $11.50 an hour and no one has their shit together, yes, it's going to suck. Stop beating up yourself trying to figure, well, dude, how come these bosses, they're not smart enough, they're not capable enough. This is an indication you need to get out. Fucking one of the bosses a liar because 2 months he told me he was going to get me a job as a inspector until he finally decided that I was too good on the position. Yeah, this company, man. Well, you could quit. As you can see, I want out of this job, so my plans are to continue to save up within the next 6 months as much as I can to go to school for computer engineering, and then of course, quit this miserable job. And I know I won't have a problem getting an engineering school since graduate top of my class, have all the prerequisites done, and love masters, I've always been good. Well, that's good. Well, if you did graduate with those good of grades, how come what? You didn't get no scholarships? You didn't have no opportunities to go to school? You don't even have to go to an expensive school. You can find a local community college, although you get your prereqs done. So I guess you got to go to the four-year institution to get your four-year degree. Anyway, my question is twofold. Is a computer engineering degree a good degree to get a job? Yeah, it's one of the best degrees you can get. Also, is this how the real world works? Is every job filled with worthless HR and upper management that do nothing but be unfair, lie, and deceive their employees? Well, let's answer that. Yes, but not as bad as... You're at the bottom of the barrel, dude, okay? It gets better, the better jobs and the higher pay and the more trainable, the more skilled jobs you have. But it's a slow improvement. A lot of it's because you're young. No one's going to hire you in a responsible position. Another thing is you ain't got no skills. You need a computer science degree. And this is one of the main reasons I recommend people get a very valuable and difficult and tough degree. Because so few people do it, yet you learn such vital skills that when you walk into an employer and they give you a job, you don't tolerate this shit. If for any other reason, there are other people that will pay you to go work and be much more amicable, professional, and agreeable and fair. Because your job skill is in more demand than the manager's skill. The management doesn't take anything. It really doesn't. Management is, you gotta know the right person, you got enough years experience, okay, and I'll manage this division. It's a pain in the ass job, but it doesn't really take that much. You want to be the indispensable guy. You want to be that mechanic that knows how to fix those special engines. You want to be the computer engineer. Computer engineering, computer program, computer engineering. You want to be the computer guy. The IT guy. What do they say? Go to the IT guy. Why? Because he knows what to do. I mean, he's more indispensable than anyone there. So you think he catches as much shit as you? You say, dude, you're going to pay me what's right. You're not going to pay. You almost become the boss. You almost, not in the sense that you run the place, but like, now you don't talk to me like that. You don't do that. And you're going to pay me. Oh, I'm gone. I mean, that's why I'm having you get up. But it does get better. Not only as you get older and you get into a more professional job, but also if you have a very high in-demand skill, you even start bypassing HR. The hiring manager's like, no. We need someone with these skills. And Mitzi, the 24-year-old ditz who still believes in handwriting analysis, and she has her master's degree in human resources, international management, and she's on her bipolar meds. She's not interviewing these very key and critical people. We need this job filled with someone who can do it. And so the hiring manager or the boss, they call it hiring manager, they'll usually go and get their own people. And you can bypass HR. And there is good news. HR is now becoming, they don't do as much recruiting. They're outsourcing that to recruiters. They're also outsourcing a lot of employment law, employment paperwork to third parties. And so, it's been well over a decade. The last place I worked, there was no HR. There was an HR lady, but she was the benefits and compensation person. She made sure you got your W-2s. And all the taxes were done correctly, payroll and all that. But it's been a decade and more since I saw a girl younger than me not know jack fuck all shit about my job. So, it was like going on a date with a mental chick. And you know what? That is probably exactly what it was, but except there was no potential for a romantic dalliance. Behind deceive their employees. Now I will tell you this: pretty much all corporations will lie to you. They'll promise you, especially in the job description, they'll promise you all this good sounding work, and they'll say it's 85% of the job. You can almost expect it to be the opposite, where it's 85% bullshit work that you were never included on. They've also changed the job on you. And these are all legitimate reasons to leave. Say, no, you lied to me. But another big one is they promise to promote you. They're like, oh, in 3 months, we can da, da, da. And then you go, hey, what about the 3 months? Oh, no, we're not ready for that. Okay, fine, bye, you lied. This is why you always are applying for other jobs. This is why applying for jobs, in addition to working out, boys, and this is for the girls too, is you are always applying for other jobs. Because that way you got them by the balls. You say, oh, you lied to me. And you could say that. No, you promised that this was going to happen. Well, I didn't promise. All right, fine. You said, you implied. Now you're lying. All right. Here's my 2 weeks. Thank you very much. I'm going to go work for the competition. That's the only way to beat these corporate motherfuckers. It's the only way. Also, it's a good idea to work part-time while attending school part-time. I think so, yes. I work full-time, went to school full-time. I don't know if you've read my books or whatever, but you definitely want to work a job where you can work on your homework. And some of these jobs exist. May not be like that right off the bat, but why would you you gotta do one of them full-time, dude. Part-time school, part-time work. I would work a security guard job. I'd work the dorm shift, work the third shift. It's gonna suck, but I'll tell you this. That's the only way I made it through college, was working security. Because not only did it pay, but it allowed me to work on different jobs. Heck, I still work security because what it does is it forces me to focus to get my work done. Last time I worked security, I got all my chores done. All. There was nothing left on the plate to do. And I've written 2 books working security. I think, was it William Faulkner was a security guy, and he wrote books too. So it focuses your time. You really got to study. And so I think it makes you money and it improves your grades. But I would go to school full time and work. And again, I'm going to ask, why are you in the military? I mean, come on, if you're going to tolerate this shit, at least get a GI Bill out of it, all right? I mean, It's military. Answer, military. Free food, clothing, shelter, and education, and healthcare. What more do you want? I like video requests. Sorry, man, this without word, so I may have a few misspellings. Sorry about my job, right? No, dude, that's fine. You separated paragraphs. You wrote a very concise and succinct thing. Yeah, so there you go, dude. That's the answer. Wish it was different, but that's the answer. It does get better, but key to getting better is getting that computer engineering degree. That's going to really help out a lot. Your phone is not going to get stolen by Bob the computer engineer. Bob the computer engineer has a little bit more morals and more important shit to do than risk his job stealing an $800 phone. And you dumbass, you're never buying an $800 phone again. Unless inflation goes up to the point in which case they're all $800 phones. $800 phone, my God. I spent less money on cars in the past. Alright, questions, answers down below, assholeconsulting.com. Check out the Older Brother podcast by going to olderbrother.com. And then all Patreon and shit and links and Amazon affiliate. Just go look in the description of the video. Take a clicky poo on the links. See what's down there. See how else you can give me money. Alright, see you guys later. Toodles.